Your voice, your vote. T-minus 3 days until the Iowa caucuses. In a campaign that has been fluid and fast-paced, at times brutal, and at times, let's face it, bizarre. It's been compared to a reality show, but the stakes are infinitely higher. The latest twist, the tears of Newt Gingrich. ABC's John Karl is live in Des Moines this morning. Hey, John, good morning to you.
Good morning, Dan. This race is as unsettled as it has ever been, with Newt Gingrich trying to regain momentum, dark horse candidates moving up, and Mitt Romney hoping for a big win. Newt Gingrich is famous for his confidence and bravado, but at a town hall meeting with Iowa moms yesterday, he showed another side when Republican pollster Frank Luntz asked about his mother, who suffered from depression.
My whole emphasis on brain science comes in directly from dealing, see how you have emotional, from dealing with, the real problems of real people.
When we met up with Gingrich earlier in the day, he was all smiles despite a pummeling of TV advertising that has caused him to sink to 5th place in the most recent poll.
I am committed to running a positive campaign, and we have to find a way to communicate. Because I just think politics has become a really nasty, vicious, negative business. And I think it's disgusting. And I think it's dishonest. And I think the people who are running the ads know they're dishonest. And I think a person who will do that to try to get to be president offers you no hope that they'll be any good as president.
Mitt Romney, who feels more confident than ever about Iowa, tapped New Jersey Governor Chris Christie to campaign for him here.
Is it time to have a real change in Washington?
But the race is wide open.
Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome.
With Ron Paul attracting the largest crowds and the most dedicated supporters.
How are you?
Former Senator Rick Santorum, once at the back of the pack, rising fast.
So quite a change from a few weeks ago, huh?
Yeah, I've been around this game. This isn't my first rodeo, as you know, so.
But I mean, how does that feel? I mean, suddenly you were at events with a handful of people. Now all of a sudden you've got.
It doesn't really, to be honest, it doesn't feel really that much different. It really doesn't. I mean, I'm still doing what I'm doing.
Also making a late surge is Texas Governor Rick Perry. After stumbling badly,
I can't, sorry. Oops.
Perry is making a comeback in the polls and has spent more on TV ads than any other candidate.
John, you've been covering politics for a long time. Not to age you, you're still a very young man, but you've got some experience. Given your experience, what is different about Iowa this time around?
Well, Dan, look at the caucuses this time. I have never seen a more topsy-turvy race. At various times over the past 4 months or so, I count 6 different candidates that had the lead at one point or the other. In fact, in August, it was Michelle Bachmann who was the clear lead here. She is now in last place in most of the polls among those competing in Iowa.
6 different frontrunners. It's incredible. John Karl, thanks for your reporting this morning. Bianna, over to you.
All right, Dan, let's bring in Republican strategist Mary Madeline, who's in New Orleans this morning. Good morning to you, Mary. Thanks so much for joining us on this New Year's Eve.
Good morning and Happy New Year's.
Happy New Year's to you. Okay, so Mitt Romney and Ron Paul are leading the pack in Iowa right now. Who, in your opinion, is going to come out on top?
Well, all the polls show Romney, the trends are, it's trending toward Romney with all the important caucus cohorts, Republicans, Tea Party affiliated, women. He's only losing the unaffiliated vote caucus goers to Ron Paul, but he's 2/3 ahead of all the other Republicans. So momentum is as important as organization, and he has both.
So if Romney does win, is this race essentially over?
No, we have an unprecedented situation here. The Republican Party has changed its rules where you have a front-loaded proportional allocation of delegates, so there's no incentive for second-tier or second-place candidates to get out. They can keep accruing delegates while not coming in second place. And he has to win, he won't win decisively, he will likely win, but he has to win decisively in New Hampshire, South Carolina, and if he gets to Florida, there's still no incentive for others to get out, but to be living off the land, that's pretty tough business.
And how much of a vulnerability is Romney's inability to sort of leap above that 25% approval rating where he is now?
It has been a problem all the way through, but ironically, Newt's ascent, Newt's surge, made Romney a better candidate. The last man standing, the witness protection program wasn't working. Conservatives wanted to see not just conservatism on display, but proud conservatism, confident conservatism, and that he could fight. And when he took the gloves off and got out there, he became much more articulate on conservative themes, and he showed that he can fight. And it's going to be a fight against Obama.
And you mentioned Newt's surge. We've seen a surprising fall as well in the polls as of late. So does that mean that the negative ads have in fact worked?
Yes, but I think the conventional wisdom is that the volume of them, the barrage of them, was what was determinative. It's really the substance of them. Newt's ascent was owing to his articulation of conservatism, and the facts, the substance of those ads showed that his fidelity to conservatism is varied in the past, and that's what hurt him, was the substance, not the barrage.
And as we heard from John Carl, a very topsy-turvy race. So is it too early to count other candidates out, specifically Rick Santorum, Rick Perry? We saw a recent surge from both of them as of late, too.
Well, there's always a solid hole, a position for a candidate more conservative than Mitt Romney's perceived to be. But there's only one hole, I think, that for a conservative coming out of Iowa, and Perry's the only one who has enough resources to go the distance, I think, if there's any more distance to go after the next couple of states.
All right, Mary, we appreciate your time this morning. We're going to have to leave it there. The intensity of this race continues. Happy New Year to you and your husband.
Happy New Year to you and yours.
All right, thank you. Well, 1 week from today, the Republican contenders will be gathering in New Hampshire for our next ABC News debate. Diane Sawyer and George Stephanopoulos will be moderating that.